All right. And as you're about to ascend the steep face of this mountain, we have 3 climbers kits among the 4 of you. Have you all please make athletics checks, and Lyras, not having your own climbers kit, will be a slightly higher DC.
Sweet. Let's see if I can roll my way out of this one. No!
If I get fucked on this.
I got a 10.
I also got a 10. No, I got 11.
8. Would I have been able to cast a guidance cantrip?
Yes, you would have been able to guide yourself. Or anyone who you like.
Wait, can I guide myself?
Oh.
Is that a thing I
Yeah,
can
I
do?
would. I
No,
would have given
can't
it
do
to Lyris.
I totally fucking
Okay.
forgot about that. I would give it
Slap
to
him on the
Wade.
Take this, buddy.
Okay, then that brings my total up to 13.
Right?
Is that a D? What for
D4.
guidance? D4.
I got a 21.
21.
That'll be 14 total.
14.
I just realized from like the previous recording, I could have used my halfling luck.
Oh, you could have, but it was
Oh.
funny.
I just
You rolled
remembered,
a
yeah.
1 the first time. So this is actually, I think Kaz crashed my computer from a distance. So
Yeah,
that we
no,
can redo
exactly.
the scene.
Also, you guys missed a lot of like neighing and stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it was great. But we will be the only ones that know about it. And
I'm taking my spell slot back then.
Secrets.
yeah, totally. Yeah, reset all your changes. I just threw my dice across the room.
Kaz and I will draw it so you guys know what happened. I'm
hold
done.
on. Grand. Just making some card going neighing over it.
We could
Over.
try it during the community night.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. We have a community
Which-
night.
Yeah.
That'll be in the announcements.
Got
Which
it.
are going to get put in the post, apparently.
So you're gonna draw Lyris and Anath having a nay over on the mountain?
Oh god. I'm not even mad about that one.
Yeah, I'm not either, which is weird.
We've given up.
So, Anath, what did you roll for this athletics check?
I got 8.
8. Congratulations. None of you failed by 5 or more.
Yes.
Yay.
Over
Yippee.
Lyris and Anath, you each do. Hey, I rolled the same thing. You each do take 5 points of bludgeoning damage from occasional slipping and falling down this scree-covered slope.
Cut myself. My intestines.
It's a bit
they need to
unpleasant.
go. Go on without me.
I
Anyway,
think there's more than a cut.
I'm just gonna limp.
Your arms off. No, it isn't.
Just
Just let
flesh
us
wound.
go.
So,
Lyris just like grunts through the whole procedure. He's doesn't want to make a scene like Anath.
dramatic with his grievous bodily wounds.
What can I say? I
And
am in
Cam is
pain.
just climbing up, like unaware of what's happening, just like shouting to Wade, "Wade, this is just like I remember from when I was a little girl."
And after about 3 hours or so of climbing, combination of leaving the cave, coming to the fork in the road, and then slowly scrambling your way up this very steep path, you come to what is very clearly the edge of this storm. You know, usually when you encounter weather, it's like worse towards the center, and it's slowly, you know, you come across a storm, it drizzles a little bit, then you get towards the middle, and it's big, heavy in the middle. This just all of a sudden starts. There's a clear line of delineation where the border of this, basically a blizzard, begins. You're currently on the other side of it, where it is, you know, you're up on a mountain, so it's cold and windy, but it's relatively nice for where you're at. And then, not but 20 feet in front of you, just a torrential swirling of snow and wind. What would y'all
I had a
like?
question.
Yeah.
So create or destroy water does not specify snow, but
It does not. It does let
It
you
is-
freeze water as one of its effects, though. What are you aiming for here?
I think
I
you're thinking
mean-
of shape water, David.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Create and
Yeah.
destroy water has only 2 functions.
I am thinking.
create or destroy water.
What are you going for? What are you going for?
I don't know how big this snow thing is, but I want to see if I can destroy part of it with.
It is roughly the size of the top of a mountain.
Well, I'm still want to see what'll happen if I try to cast Destroy Water on the.
There's like one opening that goes around and around.
It's like a certain amount, right? Because I remember like Nim has this as
Yeah,
well.
it's a
It just
specific
doesn't
amount
specify
of
for
water.
snow. It's like you destroy up to 10 gallons of water in an open container. There's no open containers.
This is
Or you
not
destroy
in an open
fog.
Open
container.
container.
It says you destroy fog in a 30-foot cube, but fog's like more dispersed than
Yeah.
snow.
Unfortunately, you know what? I'll let you try. I'll need you to, because this is like bending the magic while you're casting it, and I'll have you make an Arcana check, and it will expend the spell slot either way, even if it doesn't work.
Okay, well, I have the Call to the Wave, which allows me to use once per long rest.
There you go.
That's a 12 Arcana.
With a 12, you start. You get out your few grains of sand that are necessary in casting the spell, and perform the arcane hand gestures and let the spell loose. And it kind of you kind of feel it work a little bit. And like for a moment, a cube-shaped area just at the edge of the storm seems to thin. But then as the wind within it blows, it just fills right back in.
It was worth a shot. I'll get better at it.
It was a good try. All right, and
It's
that's
just
your
a
turn.
learning.
And he like kind of shoves him forward.
What?
I don't think he's listening. Oh, okay. This is longer than I expected with no reaction.
Sorry about that, bud.
Okay,
I did zone out for a bit.
take 2. Water Walk.
Okay. What, you mean you cast Water Walk, or I could do it?
Water Walk in a
No, I
blizzard.
can't, never mind.
Cam is just sticking her arm in right
I
now.
got water breathing, just starts swimming.
I have
I'll
a swim
say-
speed. Can I swim through the blizzard?
What?
What?
I'm reading the description for Water Walk, and it very clearly in the spell says that snow is a liquid.
That's one way to look at things.
Yeah.
It's the wrong way, but
I
you know.
mean, I remember like you can just walk up like waterfalls and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but that's liquid water as opposed to, you know, the solid snow that you
What if you
already
melted,
can walk on.
Look, I can walk on ice. Yeah, we all can.
I cast land walk.
then? Melt.
6th
melt
level
the snow.
spell.
I
Stops
cast
me
Produce
from
Flame.
sinking into the ground.
But Cam, you were saying you put your hands
Yeah.
in
I
through
put-
the edge of the storm, and you cross this barrier, and it is very cold and very windy on the other side. You can feel the snow blowing against your hand. You have to like pull your arm a little bit. The force is so sudden to stop it from going like that.
I'll be right back. She's gonna go through it.
Yeah. And Cam steps through this barrier, this snow barrier, and you can sort of see her general outline once she steps through it. How far in are you going?
If it like I'll go a few feet. I'm trying to see if there's like a wall of it rather than
Mhm.
like the whole area is just this. So
Okay. How many feet?
past 5, like past a full movement. Square.
Yeah, so Cam walks a short distance into this, and when you're about You go in about 5 feet, and it is still blowing. It is still cold. It is still hard to see. You can't see that far in front of you. You can, if you turn back, if you turned your head back to look, you could make out the outlines of your companions, and everybody on the outside is having a little bit of a hard time seeing fine detail on Cam, but you can definitely still tell that, that person over, that's Cam, she's standing right there.
Am I being hurt by this?
You are not being hurt. If you did not have, although you can tell it's going to be slow going because of the wind, which no matter which direction you're facing seems to be blowing in your face. And if you didn't have the cold weather clothes, you would be wanting them real bad right now.
Is there any like materials around us, other than like the stone and the snow?
What do you have in mind?
I almost want to create like 2 shields of like to protect. No, stop laughing. Listen. Okay, we create like a shield with the materials to stop the elements coming in this way, and we just push forward.
Better suggestion if it works. Going back to water walk. Would I assume that there's enough snow in the blizzard area to say that Cam is submerged in snow?
I see where your head's at. I like what you're thinking. I am gonna say probably not.
So, enough. My main concern is that anything that would be broad enough to shield us from the elements here would also be broad enough to catch the wind significantly.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah, I don't want to get flung off the mountain in this process.
What if we
It's
create a
almost-
barricade that's 3 walls, so it's like a
This-
turtle shell for us?
We're still going to run into the same issue unless you have a giant turtle shell that we could actually use to like hunker down and
right
have the
back.
wind go over us.
Gotta go get it.
Give me a minute, fellas. Give me a minute. Through my wild shape.
You do though, Wade. You think that the spell would have some utility for traversing the accumulated snow on the ground more easily?
Once we're on.
Right.
I almost want to create water now just so I can have more snow so that we're submerged in.
But still, it wouldn't be enough to like get up above the blizzard.
Unless someone had shaped water to move the water.
What level can we wild shape to at level 5? Because I'm not sure. Like,
Oh yeah, I'll get you the table. It should be on the druid class description.
yeah, because I've got I'm looking through it. Like, I'm just like trying to skim through, and like my brain isn't wanting to find anything.
One moment, please.
Well, not being a moon druid, you're pretty limited, but you should have something that would be at least suitable to the climate. You wouldn't have some sort of gargantuan tortoise, though.
Yeah, well, I have enlarged reduce, or if someone has enlarged reduce, cast it on me.
All right, you can
Cast it on
any
me.
beast CR 1/2 or lower with no flying speed that you would have had a reasonable likelihood of seeing.
Yeah.
Like a goat.
Yeah, I was meant to mute myself before that happened, and I couldn't. When I sneezed, I couldn't.
That's fine. You're allergic to mentioning goats.
Yeah.
Bastards.
I'm going to say Wade is just going to follow Cam while he's thinking of a better way of getting through this blizzard.
I was actually, I was thinking the same thing. Kind of just,
Oh.
although we don't actually know she's okay in there yet.
You can
And
see her just standing there. Like, she doesn't seem to be like her outline is kind of fuzzy because of the thickness of the snow, but you can see she doesn't appear to be acting like she's in any pain. She's still moving around. She's not frozen in place or anything.
Right. But still, just to be sure, Lyris is going to
Yeah.
point at her and cast message and be like, how is it in there?
It's very cold. And windy, but not painful.
All right. It doesn't seem that bad, guys. We should just follow her in. Everyone, make sure you're tied off tight.
If need be, though, I mean, I can transform into an elk or a draft horse.
That might be useful, actually.
Yeah.
That could be
Or a
highly
giant
valuable.
badger.
Or a what?
A giant badger.
I mean, could also be useful.
They're the most dangerous land mammal from where I come from.
I was gonna say, but is the badger that you turn into going to be one of the UK badgers that looks like it's about to invite you in for a cup of tea, or one of the North America badgers that look like they're going to eat you?
The fucking monster of a thing. I'm gonna say it's probably the UK breed. It's Anna. It's just like very starry. In this, like where the stripes are, it's like like constellation.
It's a UK version, but it's also from Glasgow, so so you don't want to fuck with it.
It's something. Yes. When you need me, I can elk it up.
All right, so the three of you are stepping in with
Yes.
Cam.
Hands first, and I just plodge.
Yeah,
down.
there is no perceptible physical barrier that would cause the snow to behave in such a way as you're seeing, and you put your hands out, maybe expecting something, but you just feel snow and cold wind blowing on your hands, and then your arms, and then your entire body as you all step through into the storm proper. And it is cold. You are either loving your cold resistance or cold weather gear right about now.
Yeah, Lyris is like, oh man, maybe I should have put on long sleeves.
I really wish this was acid right now.
Remember Woodstock?
Why are water genasi resistant to acid? Why?
Lyris is Canadian. This is what we're learning. Short
He just-
sleeves in the winter.
Is he wearing blue jeans and a jean jacket?
Come on, that's such a harmful
I pull
stereotype.
that off, okay?
You do pull that off.
I'm gonna post a picture and you guys are gonna see it.
Wait, although you very rarely wear jeans.
Yeah, that's fine. They're too hard.
No. I don't exist below here, so
Yeah, so we're just gonna keep following Cam into the blizzard then and hope that she can still navigate.
I have a question that I've been like thinking about. It's fair if not, but
what you got?
is there, based on the description that we were given from Fort Breaker, and also like the fact that the little miniature that I had was pretty detailed, was there anything object wise on this giant that was noted at any point that would be memorable to Cam?
That is a fine question.
That I could potentially locate.
Let me look at their character sheet. Or I guess stat block. I don't want to make you roll for something, but I don't feel like that's totally fair.
I'm okay with it.
I'll say no. I'll say you spend enough time looking at that thing. You remember that the statue, well, Fort Breaker didn't mention much beyond that she was wearing green robes with a hood. You saw that this when you in figurine form, there was I think Cam would remember this because there was a very ornate belt wrapped around this creature's waist with all kinds of like gold.
It's very fashionable.
Metal detail that fit in very nicely with the green robes that they were wearing. And I feel like Cam would remember the belt in particular.
So then she is going to cast Locate Object for that belt, which works within 1,000 feet of her.
Are you within 1,000 feet? How long does that last? 10 minutes?
Yes.
Let's see. You'd be coming up the mountain from this side. I will... Oh, that is a good question. What is the diameter of this? Measurement matters!
If Chad is wondering, all these three boys who are giggling on screen are making donkey jokes about backing an ass up.
Okay. I'm glad I got it.
And there's a question posed about donkeys hee-hawing, but female donkeys she-shawing.
Okay, that's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I would love it if like we shared the transcripts for these. I think.
Patreon
Go on your
exclusive.
Patreon.
Or none of us are actually going to transcribe this ourselves. So I guess maybe join like MTurk or something, and you might be able to transcribe it for 15 cents an hour. I'll say no. You're not pinging anything.
Okay.
On locate object. I was like, detect object? No, that's eyes.
Then she's just going to keep pressing through where she thinks the center of whatever this is. And she's kind of positioning herself to be in front of everyone so that we're like in a straight line, even though like the wind's coming from all over. That's just like a natural thing that she
like
decides
almost
to
like
do.
a slipstream.
Yeah.
The wind, it's weird. The wind is coming from whatever direction you happen to be walking in.
Oh, perfect. I will be in the back. It's strategic, okay?
All right. And you carry on?
Yes.
I'll have you make another survival check for me. And Lyris can certainly assist, but it would normally be at disadvantage due to the decreased visibility, so that'll cancel it out.
I rolled a 15 and I have a +7, 22.
Maybe.
Don't even need the advantage. Cam may not know much, but she knows where she's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even with the limited visibility, which anything beyond like 60 feet from you becomes difficult to see, it becomes partially obscured. Although you can still make out some general shapes in the distance. And
Hey, don't those
Your
shapes over
follow-
there look like generals?
general.
Oh, yeah. General shape.
Yeah. After
I don't see any prizes, weirdly enough. Must be too cold.
They look lower.
can somebody bonk him, please?
I'm sorry, I thought of it. I thought I had to say it.
No, I respect it, it still needs a bond. After about another hour of pressing into this storm, Cam, you can tell that you have not gone very far.
Oh,
To
okay.
the incredible wind and the thick snow underneath you, but you are progressing. You estimate maybe you've covered half a mile over the course of this hour, but just at the edge of what you can barely make out through the snow, it looks like a large, very large structure of some kind starting to outline against the background.
And we were kind of told about things like these back in town, right? That there were like buildings up on the mountain, but Cam wasn't really familiar with any of them.
This is a little bit further. This is a little bit further north than where you lived.
Okay. All right, then she's gonna go straight towards that structure. Not really sure if anyone's hearing her through the storm. She's gonna yell back though, like, "I see something up ahead. We're gonna go towards it."
Okay.
Seems like the best call.
Yeah, it is loud,
Continue
but
fight.
you are able to communicate. You gonna say something, Phil?
No, I just hope we don't cause an avalanche.
Oh yeah, it's always good.
Especially with how like shrill Aneth and Cam's voices are.
All right, and you carry on. Is there anything you are doing while you're approaching this structure?
Are we on land? Or are we still climbing now? I guess it wasn't really.
You're not like you weren't like climbing, but it was very steep before. It has at this point leveled off slightly, but it is very much still inclined.
So if we like did water walking or something, then maybe
that would benefit a little bit, because it does specifically say in the spell that it makes it easier to walk on snow.
He wants to water walk so badly.
I just want to make use of these utility spells.
That's fair. I'm not knocking it.
I'm gonna
glad you
cast
brought it up, because I did not know the
Water
water walk worked on snow and acid specifically, and mud and quicksand.
Which you could do while being resistant to it.
Well, now we're all water walking.
It's the well-known liquid surfaces of snow and quicksand.
It sounds like he broke into a musical number. Like, now we're all water walking.
Yeah, if you cast water walk on the party, it does make the going much easier for the next
I
member.
am done so.
Hey, this makes the going much easier. What happened?
We're walking on water.
I mean, we already were.
Now you're walking.
Walking on water.
All right, Jurassic
Anyway.
make it happen. If you watch this, I don't know if you watch us. I see you at Discord sometimes.
I'm gonna. Hey Dante. Yes, I've named him Dante. He doesn't like it. I'm going to cast, or not cast. I'm going to use my Vigilant Blessing on myself.
Okay.
I'm at the front, so I feel like that's the smartest move.
With the benefit of the, for some reason, water walk spell that works on snow, I don't have anything against it. It's just the name doesn't make sense.
Moisture walk.
Liquid.
I mean, we are walking on water. It's just the fact that they called it a liquid that I have a problem with.
Yeah, that is the issue here.
I have no problem with us being able to walk on snow as part of water walk, but to specifically say snow is a liquid. really hurts my feelings.
So Top
Hopefully
Down
they'll fix it in
Tabletop
1D&D.
is now gonna be we're open to partnerships with Wizards of the Coast so that we can correct your things. We did already make Chill Touch better, so that's like reach out to us.
Rates are very reasonable. But it does, after about 15 more minutes of traversing, you are able to make out the detail of this structure. It looks like some sort of fortress or castle or otherwise fortified, large fortified structure.
Guys, is that a dungeon?
I think so. Is that how you pronounce it? I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
No,
I-
it's Donjon.
No,
Donjon.
Donjon.
Donjon. Yes.
No, Don Juan is that guy in town who has a lot of girlfriends.
Je ne parle pas français.
But honestly, I'm unclear on the pronunciation. I only know the word from books.
No, yeah, same. I start writing it in the snow. Like this is how I write.
With
You don't need specifics, guys. I've drank a lot of water. Okay.
he turns into a draft horse. But yeah, let's head towards that. If nothing else, it's shelter, and we might be able to help out with that. That little side mission we were given. Trying a blank because after all this time, I forgot to bring my book out.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not taking any notes today.
The side mission from Alexandra Caspri.
That's the one.
It was
Guildmaster
very
of the Stone
attractive
Divers.
from what I remember.
That, of course,
yes.
that's what you remember.
To be fair, Anna would if they met them.
The tiefling horns were made of crystal.
They were so sparkly.
Yes.
Yeah, you're approaching this structure, and as you come closer, it seems the every detail about this building. Actually, you know what? Everybody make either perception or investigation check as you approach. Just for fun.
And keep an eye out, buddy.
8,
22.
22.
That would be a natural 1 for 5. Crushing it.
Investigation or which one? Oh, perception was it?
Yeah.
It don't matter. I lied. I get on perception, you fools. 14.
14, and then the next one up was Laris with the 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, you, Laris, and only you. Swear that every so often when you look up in the sky, it looks as though there is a large humanoid face in the clouds that occasionally blows away and then reforms somewhere else. It's almost like circling around y'all in the storm way up.
Did anyone
so
else
Spider-Man.
see that?
Looks like snow to me. What are you looking at?
There's a face up there. I swear there's something in the clouds watching us.
Oh, just
If he
like my
points it out,
dad.
is it
I'm-
easier for us to see?
Your
looking in the
dad?
wrong
What?
direction.
Like, let's unpack that right now.
Blows right past it.
Wait, hold on a minute.
I don't. Okay, we need to talk for real, but no, I don't mean metaphorically or philosophically or anything like that. I mean, I saw an actual face looking at us, and then it moved away.
Is it? Are we able to spot it after he says that, or is that like still no?
If you now, Lyris, that you have told your companions about it and kind of pointed it out where you saw it. Did you point it out?
Oh yeah, he definitely. He's like there.
Just like following him with his finger.
Now it's not. You can't catch it anymore. Now that you've pointed it out.
Well, it was. I swear. Like it's kind of. I feel like it's moving around.
Pat him on the back. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Don't worry.
Maybe it's shy.
It's probably whatever's causing this storm. You realize that, right?
Probably.
I believe you, buddy.
Well, come on, man. And he looks down at Anath. He's like, you're the nature magic guy, right? Like,
That's fair. No, that's true. You're right.
you must know about these things.
I would like to try and see if I can deduce any weird sky magic writing. I mean, I am skywriter. I don't know if that like helps.
Interesting spell choice.
Come on.
Oh, I haven't got it like selected.
But still, okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
no,
But you would be able to prepare it. That is a technique that you have access to.
So like, could I try and see if like this is some form of skywrite or even like just?
Yeah, actually,
something.
make an Arcana check for me.
Just point it out again for me.
It's moving around now. I can't. It's not stopping.
And it's like if you try and chase where you saw it, it's like there's no semblance of any detail anymore. It is
14.
Just storm. 14. Yeah, like Skywrite would do that. There's any number of spells that could cause a similar effect. Skywrite would probably be the one that you would go to if you want to make that happen.
It's fine. Something. Just here's the thing. I think it knows that I saw it too, and it knows that we're here. So we need to be on high alert and probably take shelter here as soon as we can.
Okay, well, if it helps, I do believe you.
That does help a little bit. Thank you.
Oh, you want some goat?
What?
You want some goat rations? Made some goat jerky.
Well, maybe when we take shelter, I don't just want like frozen goat to eat like a popsicle. No, that would be weird.
No, of course.
Bro goat?
I just wiped away my frozen tear.
Yes, Frogoat. There you go. Now there's something you can market.
Do we need a rest place?
I mean, we should probably take shelter from the elements at least for a little bit. Take a look at whatever this place is.
Well, I can create one.
That sounds handy.
That does sound handy.
I didn't want a carpenter.
It was something that I was inspired by a dream. She's shouting this through the no. It's inspired by a dream.
Oh, that's very nice.
Night.
You have thaumaturgy, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You don't have to yell.
Yeah. She's just like projecting her voice through like
All right, Cam. Cam.
She can't hear you over her own voice now.
That sounds fascinating, but we did want to check out this place for Alexandra, right?
Okay, and then if we can't stay here, then I can create our own place to stay.
And with this booming, with Cam's voice booming through the storm, you'd see like some of the there's like some little icicles that are growing on some of the like the window ledges that snap, and some of the snow around are billowing up.
I guess we don't want to create an avalanche.
I mean, it definitely knows we're coming now. That's
and we did encounter that guy who definitely suffered from an avalanche already, right?
Yep.
Okay. So unless someone tells Cam to stop, she's gonna keep doing stuff like that.
Cam, please slow down.
Yeah, please.
Slow down. I can talk.
No. Quiet down. Quiet. That's what he meant.
Outside voice.
Oh, okay.
Inside outside voice.
We are outside in a blizzard.
She's gonna keep going towards the outline, and then if it seems like it's not safe for them to like go inside, then she'll create her little her dome.
Yeah, as you approach the building, you can make out finer and finer details. This, based on, I'll say this looks like any not. Ugh. I'm going to start that sentence again. This does not look like any sort of masonry with which any of you are familiar. It is the stone blocks that make up this structure are fit so tightly together and cut so neatly that you can barely make out the seam. It's only easy to track in places where some of the stone has crumbled away due to time, which is not very many places. It looks like this structure, the windows, the size of the blocks, the door, which is off to your left a little bit as you have not approached it exactly straight on, is built even larger than you would expect a castle to be. You know, a castle generally has a very large portcullis for the entryway. This is 2 or 3 times taller than any castle's door that you've seen before.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a giant castle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
I mean, this is already pretty big. Like,
It's a giant castle.
Yeah, I think giants lived here.
I've never seen
Or live here.
That's a good point.
humongous.
Could well be the case.
Look at that weight.
I was gonna pretend shouting if there were any giants here.
Oh.
No, I don't want them to know that we're here, but I mean that's probably too late now.
Yeah, I mean, if they've seen us in the sky.
So Cam's gonna keep approaching the doorway then, like she shifts over to where the doorway is, and let's see if there's a way to open it.
There is a very large handle on the door, which kind of like one of those ring style door pulls. Like I know there's like a torque, I think is what they're called.
Oh, those are knockers.
Yeah.
If
there's some huge knockers on this door. Thanks, Mel Brooks. If you haven't seen Young Frankenstein, watch it.
I believe it's pronounced Frankenstein.
No, that's Frankenstein's monster.
But they're about 15 feet off.
Okay.
They're about 15 feet off the ground, and you cannot reach them from where you are.
15
Can I help?
feet.
Can I try and get on it?
I'm gonna lift up. Yeah, I'm gonna lift up my little buddy enough.
Help me up.
Is his mage hand?
Me already on her shoulders, like jumping.
We'll do both.
Race.
I guess, and that because you're just over 6 foot, right, Cam?
Yeah, I'm like 6'1".
And Anath, you're like
3
a
foot.
foot tall. Yeah, okay.
Oh, I should have said yes. I should have said yes.
Okay, so you're standing on Cam's shoulders. You're about 8.5 feet up. You reach your arms up. You get about maybe 10 feet. You're gonna have to jump for it. Which either Cam, you can throw him, in which case it's gonna be a dexterity saving throw to grab onto this, or an acrobatics check.
Can I give myself guidance before she tosses me? You gotta beat Wade's mage hand.
You ready?
Wait, I'm ready. Go on.
Okay, so you throw the halfling, and that make either a acrobatics or check or a dexterity saving throw, and tell me which one it is.
What happened?
Could I argue it's a feat of athletics?
If you had jumped yourself instead of having been thrown, I think it would have been athletics.
What happened, Kaz?
So I got 3 on my row. My guidance gives me 1. 4 plus 3 on my deck save. 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, you know what, Cam, just roll a d20 for me, just for fun.
The fuck, man.
I'll do the big one. That's
What are
a
you
17.
What
Perfect.
are you doing?
I'll tell you what. With the 17, I'll say you absolutely chucked an F. And he goes exactly to the door, forgetting maybe for a moment that this torque was not a target. He smacks straight into the middle of the ring of metal.
I just raised with my... Go on, sir.
Leaving like a Wile E. Coyote style, like, halfling imprint in the snow that had accumulated on the door.
As I'm planned, I pull out a placard that says 10.
But I will say, you smash into the door and then fall, but the knocker is so thick that you're able to actually land on it.
Hey, we did it, guys.
Thick knockers.
Yeah. You do take 2 points of bludgeoning damage from the impact, though.
Now, what are you going to do up there?
I'm gonna like put my back against the door, and then use my legs to try and like push on the knocker. So like,
You didn't study physics, did you?
no, I didn't go to school.
This is where the mage hand comes in.
No, it's like me like pushing until I can like try and like use my legs to like cause it to like raise and then bang.
Yeah, pushing off the door.
Yeah, with their legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Back up against the door, legs on the metal, and push.
Yeah.
That'll work. Yeah, give it now's your athletics check.
This is where the avalanche happens.
Yeah. And Mage Hand is not a whole lot of help because of its carrying limit in this circumstance.
But it could tie a rope off.
It could tie a rope off, but if
Yeah.
it's just trying to pull on it, it's not really doing a whole lot.
I got 10. I'm swapping out to my gauge.
Time for dice jail.
So while this is happening, Lyris kind of just holds a rope out to Wade.
Well, yeah, we can do that.
May as well. I don't have much hope for this blade.
Was that a total of 10?
Yes.
You're able to move it a little bit.
Would I be
But-
the guy?
Yeah. With the extreme heaviness of this metal, it seems like it might be a little bit rusted in its holding. It does kind of break free a little bit, and you are able to move it a few inches off of the door, but not very far. And if you let it go, it will fall back and make some noise.
Yes. And you say a little squeak.
I'm gonna tie Lyris's rope too with the Mage Hand.
While Cam is watching this, she also just like subtly tries to cast thaumaturgy to see if it helps with the door opening if it's unlocked.
Hey, Anath.
Mhm.
Well, while you're up there, can you help tie this rope? I only got one hand.
Yeah, sure. Toss it up.
Let's see.
So I tie it. Scout's nuts.
Yeah. And ask, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
No.
I'm just a punching back up this dicey. Why are my consequences revealing? My actions revealing consequences.
Stop
But
throwing yourself at everything.
17.
But it's
Okay.
free.
What can I say?
That's
The
good.
LGBT
That's
community
enough.
coming in clutch.
That's enough. Which I'm kind of sad for because
You want me to roll? I can fail. Can I choose to
No.
fail it?
I mean, if you want to, you can choose to fail. It will deal a decent amount of damage, but mostly I was going to have the description of if you've ever seen a halfling like hit like a pinball paddle by this door. But you do, man, you feel it coming and kind of press yourself up against the door and are able to grab on as it stops to the rope and do not get flung off, but just with not but a word from Cam, the door flings open.
You did it, Anath.
Ooh.
Yes.
Lyra's holding the rope is like, "Ah!"
Yeah, he helped.
Do you let
My-
go?
Sure.
Okay, cool. You don't get rope burn.
Might that be a good spot for a short break?
I think it would be. As the door has flown open, we're going to take our own short rest and be back here in a little bit. And we're back. Thanks everybody for sticking around during that break.
You didn't do the.
I guess we're saluting.
Okay.
General.
Mhm.
Good luck, soldier.
It's because of all the general shapes around.
Yeah. Thank you. I couldn't remember what the joke was.
But you were making noise anyway.
I'm channeling Cam, okay?
Dusted off that brain cell. All right. And we rejoin our group having just nearly given Anath the pinball treatment, but he managed to hang on as Cam flung the doors open using thaumaturgy instead of all of this.
Anath did it. Like,
Yeah,
what are you
of
talking
course.
about?
Of course. It was all Anath. And the
They
door
did it again.
blasts open in front of you, causing a not insignificant gust of wind and snow kicked up as it does so before coming stationary, leaving a maybe 30-foot high doorway open in front of you into what looks like a large entry chamber of some kind off in the distance, maybe 100 or so feet into the structure. And I'll note the snow does not persist in the structure.
Is it dark?
It is. It is. I would say it's dim light. There's enough light to see by.
I am going to. Yeah, why not? I'm going to use Eyes of Night on all of us so that we now have dark vision out to 300 feet.
Goodness.
Can you use that on more than one person now?
Yeah, I think it's like
It's up to 4 willing creatures.
Nice.
Did anyone else suddenly be able to see better?
I feel like I've got
Oh,
lights
hi.
shining through my eyes.
That-
Hello.
What you saw was Cam going like this. She just pulls like gold threads from her eyes, like little tendrils of magic, and she just kind of like goes like that to each of you.
That's cool and a little creepy. I am here for it.
I just thought I would share.
I've never seen this well in my life. What did you do? Is this
Oh,
forever?
Clean your eyes.
Oh no, it isn't forever. So we should move and make use of it.
Okay.
Wish I had
An hour.
glasses that let me see this well. That'd be nice.
Your glasses.
It's a thing I leaked through.
I was gonna make that joke if you didn't.
Oh my gosh.
But
Expecting it and did a spit take anyway.
Okay. Well, Cam, you've done well so far. Lead the way.
Let us proceed.
yeah. Is there just like one way to go when you get inside?
There is in this room that it's entering into. It doesn't look like there is another exit.
Okay.
Apart from the one opposite it, about 100 foot down.
I'm just gonna step in and just be like,
Before you do that,
"Oh, okay."
Anath, are you still on the door?
I am still on the door. And I was going to prepare to start shimmying down the rope.
All right.
He does have a rope."
Do
I
you
guess-
take the time to recover the rope and all that stuff?
We'll get it on the way out.
All right.
We might need it to
Rope
close the door behind us.
Fair.
We don't allow in the draft.
Fair.
Oh,
Are you
that's okay.
waiting? Are you waiting for Anath to start entering, or is Cam just going to go in?
I'm waiting.
What did
Not
you
right
say?
now. You're not. You cast
didn't hear
water
it.
walk.
I knew what you said.
You're not waiting at all.
I don't even know who I am anymore.
45 minutes on Water Walk. Actually,
I
wait.
have.
Yeah.
I'll have an identity crisis every time I cast a spell.
So, yeah, she would have waited because she can only do the Eyes of the Night within
Okay.
10 feet of her. So she would have waited till we got down. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Just wanted to make sure we got those order of operations done before you started walking in. Because Cam going up front. So let's do a marching order. Let's do a marching order.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like Cam out front and after the back is just in case anyone needs healing in the middle. They'll healing sandwich.
Alrighty.
I feel like this is our default order.
Yeah, I don't
It's like
think.
Cam,
Oh, you want to
Lyris,
switch it up?
Wade, and F.
Okay. Are we gonna go? We're gonna.
No,
like,
I'm not
we're gonna
complaining.
decide.
I'm saying this is
I
our
think-
The
default
default
order.
It makes
Yeah.
the most sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was wanting to switch up. You could go like side to side, like all in
Yeah,
one
and
line.
you could do like 4 across in a line all at
man
the
rest.
same time.
But that's so rude to the people trying to cross us on the street, though.
That's their problem. They should have thought about that before we started coming. They saw
This is
us.
our street now.
They saw us from a
We
distance. They could
start
have crossed the road.
snapping.
Yeah, this is just really a long con for me to get us into a West Side Story spin-off.
Gosh.
The more warriors come out and play.
All right. But you start to enter.
Hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Um,
I don't
And-
like how specific you're being, but yes.
yeah, and that's totally justified because with the doors open, with your superior dark vision granted, you all starts to head towards the door. There is.
I do want to say that once we're all in, I would like to close the door behind us with thaumaturgy again.
Well, let's hold on to that because
Okay.
before you enter, as you're about to cross the threshold, you are met with a blast of air coming out of the door. And I would have everybody make a strength saving throw.
No,
please.
stick with Dex.
Strength saving throw for everybody, please, as this incredible blast of wind blows out from the door.
That's a 7.
That's a 10.
19
21.
for me. Oh,
18
Ooh.
and a 21 out of an F.
The gay dice really do be doing it.
Nice. So, Cam
Oh,
and
but-
Wade, you are both blown back 20 feet from the door, 20 feet, and fall prone. Lyris and Anath, you are able to buffet yourselves against the wind and hold your place, at which point there are it's a little bit easier for Cam and Wade to see, having a little bit more space from you. 2 incredibly bright flashes of light followed by loud thunderous claps as Anath and Lyris, you are barely missed by what looks like lightning bolts. You can feel electricity crackling across your, like, the hair on your arms and the back of your neck stand up. And it's accompanied by this deafening boom, and I'll have the 2 of you make Constitution saving throws, please.
So did we fail the good one?
it fucking seems that way.
The audacity of this.
10.
10?
You say I need to open my sheet up again because I closed it by accident. I'm so sorry.
It happens.
He was like, I don't need to use this ever again.
So if we
Yeah.
were going like all in order and Lyris was behind me, did he like step out and then I just like knocked Wade back?
I feel like he went down and
You were picked up, blown off of your feet.
yeah, Lyris went down and like gripped the stone floor.
15.
15. All right. You both fail.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
We
And-
succeeded to earn the privilege to be hurt.
Yes. No, you are just deafened for a short time from the absolute noise that was caused here. Your ears are ringing.
I saw Shine. Everyone okay?
Mel?
What?
Mel?
What?
Are you okay?
What?
It seems to the two of you, Cam and Wade, that your other
I
companions
can't hear you.
cannot hear. This was loud even for you, but you were far back enough from the source of the sound to avoid the worst of its effects. As the storm seems to start to coalesce in front of you into a column of snow and blowing winds that eventually solidifies itself into a 20 or so foot tall humanoid figure dressed in a green robe with a hood
And a belt.
belt.
A hood and a belt. I know who this
And
is.
in a booming voice, just primarily for the size of the creature, which for the moment Anathan Lyris cannot hear but can feel the vibrations of this giant that you have been chasing, says the small folk have forgotten how to knock. I see.
What?
Why
I tried to knock.
have you followed me
Can
all
I
the
hear
way
again?
up here?
We can hear again, or
You two couldn't hear that. Wade and Cam, you could, but now as she starts, as she finishes speaking, you can start to make out some words at the end of it. It's only the deafness effect only lasts for a round.
what are they saying?
They think we didn't try to knock, but we did.
We did knock.
The smallest one tried to knock, but he's
We're very weak.
Me, I'm the smallest one. I don't know if you can see me.
It was really hard to reach the knocker.
That is the
knockers.
least important part of the statement. Why have you followed me all the way up this mountain?
Well, you sort of caused some destruction on your way here,
I
and people were upset about that, and they wanted someone to investigate, make sure everything was okay, that something like that wasn't going to become a larger problem.
I think the amount of destruction I caused was well less than would have been justified for where I have been for who knows how long.
Cam is just like raising her hand, like waiting for her turn to speak.
What?
I was actually the one who let you out.
Say,
It's true.
how? There was no one around when I reappeared. In the middle of the woods, might I add.
Were you trapped somewhere?
I was spending what felt like untold eons in a formless void.
Would you like answers about that?
That would be delightful. If
So my friends and I, we found an old building, and then we just decided, you know what, let's go through this weird portal thing. And we went through the weird portal thing, and we found you, and I placed like a little figurine of you. It was beautiful. I took note of your belt. It was, I would love a belt like that of my own one day. But I put you down on the table and then you left. And I wasn't sure what it was that you were doing, so we followed you.
I'm just curious.
You can make me a persuasion check with
I'm
advantage.
good at those.
You can have advantage.
Okay, that is 17.
when you give this explanation, the storm swirling around laxes a little bit. It's still snowing, but you would struggle to call it a blizzard now. And she kind of crouches down a little bit to become closer to all of you, although she's still easily twice your height, even kneeling down. And she takes a moment. Says, I apologize for my assumptions and my rudeness, as it must have been those damn wizards.
The ones at the hall?
Yes, the hall.
Oh,
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
She completely pivots now to be facing Wade.
I would look at Wade too.
It was those wizards. We came across an old building, like my friend Cam here said. And like she said, there was like this map, like, you know, a 3D version of a map. And there was a miniature version of you, like a miniature that she placed on the map. And when she did that, that's when you reappeared. So they must have found some way to trap you. And we were there to undo that. There were other creatures there too.
For what it's worth, it does seem that these people are telling the truth about all of this. My investigation has turned up exactly what they're saying. And I believe it's you causing this storm. You should know that there are a lot of people who also aren't connected to the wizards or anything that happened to you who are being harmed by it.
Wade, are you wearing anything right now that might be bearing the insignia of the Hall of Weave?
Under his
That's visible
cold
currently.
weather gear.
No, I still got the warm cloak on, so it wouldn't be visible.
All right, well, that's good to know. So, I am assuming that even with their treachery, the good folk of Crystal Harbor managed to triumph over the great evil inhabiting Fort Oss. Then
She looks at all of her companions like, do you know anything about this?
Do I know anything about this? This sounds new to me.
You can all make a history check for
I'm almost
me.
certain Anna has no fucking clue.
I am not
my
even gonna
rolls
roll.
today are just. That was a total of 7. All these rolls today are not good.
Can I just ask them what Fort? What was
Oss.
it? Oss.
What year was this?
I have not developed a calendar system for this world.
How many years ago
years
was
ago?
this?
If you ask how many years ago this was, she does not.
That's right,
know,
because she's
she's
okay.
been in some sort of time weird, semi-conscious.
I don't have
It
much.
would've-
But,
Who was? Do you mind if I ask who was in charge of Crystal Harbor when whatever this is that you're talking about happened?
and her facial expression kind of sours when she spits out the name, as though the name itself tastes bad. and he says an elf by the name of Vamir.
This would have
Amir?
had to have.
It's Vamir.
This would have had to been maybe around 100 or more years ago.
You were trapped in there for that long? No wonder
Nah.
you're so angry. Is this your home? Have you come back to it?
You hungry? You want some goat?
That's actually not a
I
bad.
mean-
I mean, if I was stuck for
Let's
that
see.
long,
I mean,
I'd be
angry-
starving.
An angry woman. Give
I'm
her
looking-
some food.
What we're learning here is Anna's flirting with the giant donkey and the dragon, but is what this is. Madam.
She will give you a date that indicates it was. I had to look up a lore document because I forgot. And she's going out with
getting
you
a
now.
date.
Yeah,
Kaz is
she's getting a date.
interpreting your words inappropriately. Fine.
So I'm
That
doing
was
what I want to
perfect.
do right now.
She will give you a date that was roughly 200 years ago.
Sorry, Mom, I can't make.
That was before my time.
Yeah, that was long before me as well.
Very well. You know, why it seems I have some catching up to do, and it seems that you all may benefit from some history. Why don't we step inside?
I would love to
That-
hear your.
That sounds
your-
perfect.
You speak history to me. I would love to spend some time and learn about your culture and your people.
I
Yeah.
actually am very curious about your culture as well. Is this where your people resided 200 years ago?
It was
Jinx is frozen for me.
Yeah.
also me.
I am not frozen. I swear. If,
You do have cold
It's the cold. The cold got to him, guys.
if anything, I'm too hot. I promise.
I mean, yeah, you are.
I mean, that's true.
I'm not sorry. I didn't mean to do Anna's voice.
OBS is frozen,
Oh,
Oh shit.
so
Your
that,
computer's probably struggling
Oh.
with the heat.
the heat is
Mm.
going to be an issue, I think, or
Well,
it
Shanks
just
can.
is doing a thing. If you're frozen where I'm frozen, though, at least I look kind of good. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's not the worst freeze.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
the
not.
worst
It's not
freeze.
bad.
I don't take good pictures, so a frozen camera seems better. I don't know.
Well, yes, madam. If you would like to
Um,
share your history with us over some wine and some gold,
Oh, I do have wine.
we'd be happy to share.
There is some here, although I am
Oh,
not certain if after 200 years it is still drinkable.
Doesn't wine age good though? Isn't that the whole thing?
It
Age
has
like a
its
fine.
limits.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, so long as
you're
there's
so
no
learned, madam.
contamination.
Am, do you still have some of your wine?
I do. Man, I really wish I had taken a certain spell today. That's fine.
What spell do you need?
Large reduce on the wine?
No, no. The one that takes away like poison from. Yeah.
Purify food and drink.
Yeah.
I got it. If you want me to, I mean, can you ritual?
I
cast it?
mean, if she's a 20-foot giant and she drinks like even like
Well, I
a
was thinking
bottle
about
of
the stuff
wine.
that she has. That's
Oh,
200
okay.
years
That shit'll
old.
kill
That
me.
food. Yeah,
Well, you might purify it, but it might not taste good.
that's fair. Yeah, she's going to take out her wine. This is gonna easily be the last of it because yeah,
Sharing it among
giant.
a giant.
Like, are you offering her the bottle?
Which I could
She's
tip on
going
madam.
to take a cup of it and then hand it around so that it goes to her last because she's expecting that everyone else isn't going to take as much.
Okay, Shanks.
Could I get it last?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it goes like Cam passes it to everyone, and then it goes to Anath last.
And then I go to the giant because I don't drink wine. And I, for you, my lady.
She
And I
will
try to
like.
breathe.
Her hand is like twice your height.
Nice.
And it's just
You're
like,
such-
Between the two of them, they'll have the like a normal size.
Regards of how much.
actually,
time we
no,
spent-
if it was a pure average,
It'd
that
still be quite large.
child would be 13 feet tall.
Oh shit, boy! That guy can ball.
And that's how you get hill giants.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. How long have you spent locked away in this void?
Well,
You
as
haven't been
I'm
weathered by
learning
age.
now, it's like just
Right.
very gently and carefully holding this tiny little bottle. Compared, it is this tiny little bottle in comparison to her giant hands.
It is delicious. So.
I do not doubt it, and I believe I will enjoy this inside. As I am learning now, though, to your question, about 200 years it seems it's been since I've had a drink of wine. Please, come in, and she'll stand back up, and there's like all kinds of snow falling off of her robe from where she was kneeling, and some of it just like you get a good dollop on your head, Anath, from that. But she steps to the side and makes a gesture, and the inner door also opens, very similar to what you did to the outer door, Cam, but slightly more controlled.
Well, Lewis is just gonna accept the invitation, head
Yeah.
right in.
After
Sure.
you all,
Same.
I'll go in last, being a gentleman.
And then she'll very carefully step around you into this room and lead onwards into this structure. Going through room after room, she seems like she's walking very slowly, and it's like comically slow walking, and then after a moment thinks about it, and you notice her feet like hover like 4 or 5 inches off the ground, and she just ends up hovering slowly forwards at a normal-sized humanoid walking speed, accompanying you through this once magnificent structure that, for having been abandoned for allegedly now the nearest number you can estimate from your conversation, 200 years, it's in pretty good shape. The cold doing some preservation, discouraging rodents and things from taking up shop. But it looks like this was once a very grand residence, and you go through several rooms until you enter a very large sitting room. There's some furniture which looks like it has recently been cleaned off. Some of the rooms still covered in dust, but there is a fire going in the fireplace. It is very warm and comfortable.
So is this like a situation where like a Nath was at Fort Breaker's house, where like Cam is gonna have to like climb up onto the furniture?
Yep.
Okay.
But let me see.
But
You know what? Yeah. And she invites you to take a seat. There's several places to sit from. She gestures towards what looks like some sort of couch, which, maybe 30-foot wide couch. You could all very easily sit comfortably on just one of the chairs as well. So we'll leave it up to y'all where you'd like to sit. And I do apologize if this is awkward. I haven't hosted small folk often, even before I was apparently trapped in a doll for 200 years, if I'm understanding you correctly. Would you like some help being lifted onto the furniture?
Oh, I very much would like
Yes, please.
that.
How tall up is how far up is it exactly?
Well, let's see. She's 26 feet tall. All of the furniture is sized for her, something close to her size. So
like half of her would be like 13 feet.
yeah, it's
Ma'am.
pretty high.
Man, we haven't even introduced ourselves. My name is Wade.
Wade, it is a pleasure to meet you. I was going to get to that next once we were sitting down, but we can do introductions now.
How about we do it in a combined method as you lift us up so I can shake your hand?
You get a little bit of a laugh out of her at that one. Very well. And she like bends down and puts her hand on the ground for you all to walk onto.
And he takes her thumb and shakes it as he steps onto her palm. Lyra Somaliath, it's good to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. You may call me Alvitende.
Ooh, that's a beautiful name. Can you spell it?
Trying to steal my thunder.
A-L.
Watch it, pal.
I know how it's spelled. A-L-V-I-T-I-N-D-E. Some knew me as the seer in the storm.
Ooh,
That makes a lot of sense.
that's
Not
even
that
more
the title
interesting.
carries any more, I'm certain.
Was it in or of? In the storm?
In. The seer in the storm.
So it is you that has the storm swirling about her.
It follows me wherever I go.
You go ahead, Lyris.
I hate to impose upon you, especially since we're just meeting. But is it possible for you to ease up on the storm?
To some degree.
As I said, there are people living in these mountains and mining the mountains as well who have fallen on hard times since your return. And I would hate to offend you, but they're just good, honest people looking to work and live here peacefully.
And Amorstradoris allows this mining in her realm. I'm truly half changed.
Who?
That was going to be my question.
The Shinebringer?
I would like to roll to see if I know anything. But
Yeah.
I would like to roll to not put my notebook away again.
Here, I'm going to DM all of you the spelling of this name because it has a lot of letters.
That's fair.
oh,
Come on,
okay.
Discord.
I was waiting for it to pop on this chat here.
Discord's checking for updates. As I will call back to earlier, my computer completely threw up. So Discord.
It's not urgent to get the spelling, so that's not a concern.
Do we
you know what?
roll?
I can put it in VDO. I forget there's a chat in there.
I was gonna do we roll for history to know this Shinebringer, or is there another
History? I got a 18.
Ooh.
I got a nat 20 and had a -2.
That's another low roll. That's a 5.
14.
Total 5.
Oh, actually, I got a 19.
19.
That's a lot of letters.
Yeah, but-
I will.
Aurora Strata.
I will. Cam, you I think get hung up on the fact that the middle syllable of that name is the same as your surname.
Okay. That reminds Cam that she didn't introduce herself when prompted. So she hears that name, thinks about it a little, and she's like, Strata. And then she's like, oh, I'm Camriel Strata. And when she does that, she casts thaumaturgy to make her eyes like kind of like glow golden. Like they are kind of golden color already, but they kind of like give off a little bit of a sparkle when she does that.
Nice.
But then she realizes she's on the woman's hand and just kind of like touches it gently, has a handshake. Yeah.
So I'm gonna pause that for a second and get to Lyris's history check. You've never heard a name associated with this story before, but you've heard tales that long time ago there used to be a dragon that called the highest peak in this mountain range their home, which was unlike most dragons, and almost the legend, who knows how it's been. There's a bug on my desk. The legend.
That's the
Welcome to spring, everybody. The legend that you've heard, who knows how much this has been twisted through tales and song over the years, is that there was a dragon that could be found in these mountains that, while generally fairly territorial as all dragons do, could occasionally be persuaded to assist someone who would take the journey all the way to their lair on the top of Adafo's Jewel, which is the name of the highest mountain in the range that you're currently climbing, which I'll note, not this mountain, different one,
Right.
but nearby. And with a 19, one of the tales talks about getting to the top of the mountain was the easy part of finding the dragon, because the dragon almost couldn't be seen if it didn't want to be, as some sort of, seemed like a natural ability, like easier to catch the motion of it out of the corner of your eye, just a shimmer of an outline in the distance.
Now that Lyris is thinking about that, does that seem like the kind of thing he was seeing in the clouds earlier?
Not quite.
Okay.
Now that you see, her face, Alvitende's face, it has some similar proportions to the face you saw in the clouds. It would be a reasonable assumption that it was her up there looking.
Right. Okay. So, and this dragon was colloquially known as the Shinebringer.
The Shinebringer.
Then I'll let Cam continue, because she probably would have gotten there first.
And then as you introduce yourself, and it is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Camriel. Did you introduce yourself as Cam or Camriel? I don't remember.
I said Camriel Strata. Yeah.
And it is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Strata.
I will go next. Why are you laughing?
Just the way you straightened out, like you look like you're really about to seduce someone. I'm here for it.
Listen,
We're watching.
I'm here for it, man. Do it.
Ken, we're not here.
I can't believe this.
Just pretend it's me.
That's going to make it more difficult.
He rolls off the bed.
I roll my bed sheet out and just out of that shit.
Oh my gosh.
It's like you just got like a
Okay.
bear skin rug all of a sudden, and you're
I'm
in like
I'm
a
muting.
velour night robe.
Yeah, I roll out my bedroll, lie down, toss myself out, and admit, pleasure to meet you. May I kiss your hand, madam? As I get onto her palm. What are you laughing, Cam?
Just don't worry about it. Just do your thing.
No. That's the truth.
Make a persuasion check, I guess.
I feel that's. Could I just? I feel persuasion's weird. Can I go? Could just go straight charisma?
Yeah, charisma's fine.
If you want that. 21.
Hey, she'll just kind of laugh a little bit. You are very entertaining. Very well. You may, if it will make you happy.
It will be a pure delight.
Great.
I feel mean.
And then Wade, are you aboard yet?
Yeah, I guess, there's no reason to not do it.
I'm going to lift you all up to the seat now. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, yeah, like as she like places us on the couch, Lyris is gonna like step off, and as he does so, he's just gonna like touch her thumb again, but as like stepping off and like circling around to look at her, and he goes, "But Elvatinde, I think that the Shinebringer has been missing from these mountains for some time."
That is concerning.
Well, I've heard good things about her, so yes, possibly why the people of the mountain have fallen on such hard times.
Yes, she was a fickle creature, but generally pleasant. I was looking forward to talking to her again. Oh well, 200 years is a very long time. And
Well,
there's
it
no...
is for certain, though as my understanding goes, not that long for a dragon.
Not that long. She had seen her share of winters, shall we say. And, it is exactly 9 o'clock Eastern right now.
It is
That was
indeed.
the time we agreed to run until.
Yeah, I'm running out of breath.
Got all the way around the clock. Did we want to keep going for a little while? Do we want to do the check-in?
I'm good with going on. further.
I'm good either way.
I'm happy to go.
All right,
Let's do a little more then.
we'll do a little more. I need to find the documents.
So I will point out that, like, even though Lyris is trying to be somewhat charming and using physical touch to like build a connection, he is not in any way trying to seduce like Anath is.
I would be heartbroken if
You're heartbroken. I can't compete with this guy.
Now, I don't know how Anath is interpreting his actions, but
he is like there he's seething. Whichever direction.
but I will point out that, like, actually Lyris is not trying to seduce, but I can totally understand why it might be misinterpreted.
He's pointing on the
is-
schmooze. Cam, help me.
Cam has she's taken her seat now, but she's kind of like tugged on Wade to like join her to take a seat, and she seems a little bit like almost concerned about Wade, and though nobody else would know, she's thinking like, wow, He's just hitting on her right in front of Wade after these past few days.
Okay, I found my document. Been a while since I opened that one.
It's fair.
Wait, have I missed like Lyris and Wade?
Cam has been shipping them for no reason because they had like one moment where it
Okay,
seemed like
yeah.
they were flirting. That's about it.
And then there
I
was
was
this
just
whole
confused for a
incident
moment, but, like,
before the
I'm-
stream on roll 20.
I'm for it.
Cam,
Hey,
Cam
what
is just
happens
like-
before we go live doesn't count.
That's not
Cam just
canon.
doesn't understand things is the problem.
Elvatende, you said, and we knew that it was the hall that did this to you. Why? Do you know why they would do that to you?
And she sits down on a chair, it's appropriately sized for her, and says, waves a hand above her head, and this barrel of something, presumably wine, based on your earlier conversations, who comes trundling out from another room a minute later, as though it is being carried like this with someone's arms wrapped around it by a figure unseen.
Is this
Unseen
figure
servant.
like our size or her size?
That is a good question. It is just big enough to carry a barrel.
But is it like a giant-sized barrel or an us-sized barrel?
It
How far
is-
off the ground is it?
Good question. It is a U-sized barrel, and it is only a couple of feet off the ground.
Okay.
You know, if a figure were carrying it, it would be about your height, Cam.
I was wondering if she had like a giant unseen.
Yeah,
servant.
that's what I'm curious about too, because it would make sense.
She may also have that.
You got one human.
I
Another
haven't
halfling
opened
one.
this yet. You've made very good time up the mountain for individuals of your height, and
Thank you.
I am genuinely impressed, I must say.
It wasn't
was mostly my
easy
doing.
going, but Cam led us up pretty well. She's pretty remarkable in that way.
I
I'm
also
sure
told her
with
about
eyes
it.
like that, you can see through anything.
She makes them glow a little bit again.
Now, yes. Where to start? So I take it that the Hall of Weave still persists.
Does?
Is it the governing body of Zemali?
Hmm.
What is its relation?
It has some power. Do we know if it's the governing body? I don't remember if that was established.
It's
or-
not to my
It's-
knowledge.
It is not
Very
it is
important.
not the official governing body, but it does carry a lot of sway, as do all of the halls. The Hall of Writ is officially like the in charge. It deals with laws and things like that. But all of the halls do work together to make the city function.
I wouldn't say it's the governing body per se. There are several halls. I don't know if there were back in your time, but they all sort of work together to help the city function.
I
As- Go ahead.
I imagine if any one hall wanted something to be done, though, that it wouldn't be much of a challenge for it to be accomplished.
And that is how it was before I popped into whatever space I was trapped in. I had discovered the treachery of Vamir, and was coming to his little private annex of the hall to help the people deal with him. And then, boop, and now I'm here. From what I was able to gather, Vamir was staging some sort of... He was planning a violent takeover of the city and the entire area surrounding the entire peninsula to the north. He had allied himself with a great necromancer that had taken over the fort that overlooked the Narrows and had already conquered the Amatha Peninsula, and was starting to press further into the woods north of town. We were preparing for a fight when I realized we had a traitor in our midst, and now I'm here. I'm guessing the fight went well.
It would seem that way.
If Vamir is not still in charge, that name is not familiar to any of you, is it?
No.
Not to me.
And necromancy had been banned publicly for some time.
Up until recently, as I understand it.
Recently, yes.
Recently? How recently?
Is it like what?
Single-digit number of years.
Yeah, I don't have an exact number, but I know it was not that long ago.
Just a few years ago, several years ago. Less than a decade.
A handful.
Well, whatever happened, it seems like the good folks of Crystal Harbor triumphed.
A question for you, David. Is Flynn Diebold, is he an elf?
Yes.
Would he be an elf of more than 200 years of age?
Not to your knowledge.
Velvet Tinde, do you remember what Vamir looked like? Could you describe him for us?
And she's like, yes, I remembered well. I used to work with him, in fact. We had good relations with the Hall. The Hall of Weave. I used to be a member myself.
Oh, that's why you're so good with magic.
Divination. They don't call me the Seer in the Storm for no reason.
Oh, so you could you predict my future?
I may.
Oh my. She just gets lost in thought at that.
It's just that there was an elf who was in charge of bringing necromancy back into public use. And he doesn't appear to be that old to me, but I've been wary of him for some time, and I just wasn't sure if perhaps he was related to Vamir, or if he, by some odd chance, was actually Vamir himself.
And she will launch into a description of this Vamir fellow, and she describes him as wearing his appearance could shift not as through some sort of disguise spell, but through some sort of inherent ability into different aspects of himself. If it would somewhat follow his mood, you could, have sort of a green affect and plant-like hair, or a pale, cold aspect with eyes like winter. It sounds to you like she is describing an Eladrin, which is not the particular flavor of elf that the current master of the Hall of Weave is.
Well, that's. I was hoping it would be him, then I'd have a reason to take him down.
It is always best to be suspicious of powerful mages. We always have an agenda.
Seems to be my experience. You mentioned that there were plans to expand beyond the Narrows. I suppose that means you're not aware that the Narrows are currently closed off.
No, I was not. How is this possible?
There's some sort of creature, an abomination maybe, that's been destroying anything that got close enough to it to even figure out what it is.
That is troublesome, indeed, and it does explain the state of... There's not as much commerce on the road as I had previously remembered between Sten's Gap, the various settlements along it, along the river at Zemali itself.
Times are tough. We're trying to make things better, but help is scarce.
Well, it's a noble thing you are doing, chasing me all the way up here on the rumor of a giant wrecking the countryside. It seems that Zemali at least does have benefactors, yourselves among them.
I'd have to change my name if I didn't do it.
It's not that hard to change my name. It's just one word.
Actually,
If it's of concern to you that the trades aren't what they used to be, maybe it's already clear to you, but you should know that it's important that the people who are mining in these mountains continue to do their work to keep that sort of thing alive.
Speaking of that, we did run into a giant earlier who was attacking, or who had attacked
yes,
people.
you did, and you dispatched him quite expertly. Well done, even with my assistance.
Why would you assist a hill giant attacking
No,
people on the road?
They
Interesting.
are...
I've read that wrong. Sorry.
How familiar are you with the rules by which giants abide?
I have a passing familiarity with the ordning, if that's what you're referring to.
I am. They, well, if the truth must be told, the hill giants will immediately fall subservient to anything taller than them. So I enlisted some in my employ and sent them after you. You were chasing me up a mountain after I had appeared.
I suppose that makes sense. I can't fault you for that.
I do. It was short-sighted of me. I do apologize for that. I am glad. You have
I mean, you were probably disoriented, so it does make sense to me that you would, need to find your space and your footing in order to get back onto your feet.
I was and still am quite furious, but I am glad at least to learn that Vermeer's plans did not come to pass through whatever reason. I had presumed that they had based on the state of the surroundings. When I woke up, the ruins in the woods and just the general, don't want to sound rude, the obvious decline that all of the structures and cities that you build had fallen under since the last time I saw them.
That's been puzzling me since we arrived here. Do you think your people left?
Here. This
Yes.
building. Or just in... This is
The building, the mountains, perhaps. I'm not sure.
this is just my abode. Occasionally I will host visitors.
Really? This
Yes.
is all yours.
It is.
Are you serious?
Yes. I did used
Oh
to have
my.
staff.
Did you
And-
know that there are some goats on your mountain that are claiming that this is their mountain?
If you want me
this
to,
is not my
happy-
mountain. This
Oh.
is just my house that you are in.
Your house on the
currently.
mountain.
The
Like the
largest
episode
house I
garden?
can afford is smaller than the chair you're sitting in.
I have had a very long time and lots of study and formerly lots of wealth with which to build such a thing. And I am sure you can imagine that building such a structure is somewhat simpler when you are this tall and can command the elements.
You've done a grand job building this. Point. Lonely, I imagine.
No,
Cold.
I
Not to
did have assistants and understudies and staff. At one point, this was a thriving estate.
I
not
mean,
to
if you'd
disrupt
like
the conversation about the house.
to wait,
Earlier, do you recall going through an apple orchard?
Yes, I did. There was quite a bold Goliath who challenged me to a fight.
Yes, the poor man in his orchard.
Mhm. I'm helping him regrow that orchard.
You,
I
you,
can
you
help
did
you.
some damage to his orchard for seemingly no reason.
The gentleman burst out of his house and started swinging a hammer at me, and I blew him back with a gust of air.
Was that before or after the damage to the orchard?
You know, he said you were quite beautiful.
Perhaps we
Yes,
could
I think
agreeably mend some fences here.
I do believe he referred to you as an eloquent giant.
However, his words are
Go on, do it.
his words cannot express
Okay.
how elegant and divine you are, madam, with your illustrious magic and enchanting ways.
She
Question,
kind of she laughs and kind of shakes her head a little bit with a smile.
Question. As a seer, do you foresee our future?
Oh my gosh. You're going for it that soon, eh?
I don't know. We got bold to go home in the Amit household.
She'll say,
I say
Cast
that.
guidance.
hang on.
On who?
Let me look and see what spell she's got prepared right now.
Ooh. Gust.
Yeah, she's-
Oh, God.
that's not a spell. That's an ability.
It's actually an attack that flying types.
I use
Whirlwind.
whirlwind on Kaz.
What? No!
You get trapped in there for 5 days.
Please.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Whirlwind just takes
Whirlwind
you out of the
eject-
fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whirlwind just ends.
Oh,
the
that
battle.
does, yeah. What am I thinking of then?
Fire spin.
Follow someone else for Pokemon facts.
I wonder.
Probably
Um,
Crimson Rockstar.
Yeah, follow Crimson Rockstar for Pokemon.
Anyway, I cast Thundershock.
Yeah, so she will get she reaches into a pouch on in her robe and pulls out a small vial of liquid, uncorks it, and sort of casts it across in an arc, and it just hangs there in the air for a moment before it's like not really exploding, but suddenly like evaporating around itself, and her eyes go white, and you can feel some magic in the room before it ends, and says, results unclear.
Oh, interesting.
Wade's gonna
I
whisper
guess.
to Nath, "That's not a no."
No,
I
exactly.
was
That's
going to say that.
we got a chance, guys. You got a chance.
It
Wow.
it seems as though you use up some of your resources to produce this kind of magic. Is that accurate?
Which kind are you referring
What you just performed.
to? Yes, but they're hardly scarce. I can fashion more.
I hate to request more upon you, but since you are a seer and we're discussing such things, will I be able to rid the Narrows of the creature?
That is an interesting question. The more I do this in a day, the less likely it is to work. I'm certainly happy to give it a try.
That's fair.
Isn't it better to try and get more information on what actually is in the Narrows causing the issue than to ask whether or not you'll succeed?
Well, I don't intend to attack it today. I gather knowledge.
You intend to attack it regardless, so what does whether or not you'll succeed? Like, is that going to stop you?
I want to know whether I'm basing my life on a pointless endeavor or if I will succeed and redeem my family one day.
I think the point, Wade, is that he is going to do it regardless. So knowing what the creature is doesn't really help.
Well, I mean,
before I do, Mr. Zemali, are you sure you want to know?
Yes.
And she'll take out another. She reaches into her pocket and pulls out another very similar vial and does very similar motions. Let's find out if it goes off this time. Yeah. And a similar sort of feeling of intense magical power fills the room, and her eyes go white again for a moment, and then she's like, "Oh!" And she grabs her head, seemingly in pain, and she failed her saving throw, but is going to use one of her legendary resistances to succeed it instead and not take any damage. That's been a while since I've felt that. Whew. Divination has limits, and there are ways to shield oneself or areas from intrusion, and whatever is going on in there doesn't want me or anyone else to look at it. Oh.
Well, not the answer I was looking for, but it provides me with new information. Thank you.
That is also very interesting because that is hard to do. There are not a lot of people that can do that.
That's what I expected. Whatever this thing is, or perhaps whatever conjured it, summoned it, created it, it's obviously beyond normal means. I knew that already, but this helps confirm my suspicions. Thank you.
And I have a splitting headache.
I apologize for that. Is
No,
there anything?
Let's find out if that wine's still good.
I
Shall
can cure wounds on her. No, it does nothing. I just
She didn't take any actual damage from it.
I know, but like it's it's just
Okay.
doing.
What are you?
That is
What are
a
you
touch
casting?
spell.
Yeah, that's.
I will point out that is a touch spell. You are 13 feet in the air on a chair on the other side of the room.
No. Madam, drink from this chalice. So you use one of my starry for.
Jeez! Wow. Okay. Going ham here.
Kill yourself.
You That did help
Scroll
the
sustenance.
headache. But let's crack
Yeah,
the wine anyway and find out if it's still.
That sounds like
But
a good
that did
idea.
fix my headache. Thank you, Mr. Anath. Was it?
Anyone else want? I mean, who got hurt when you were climbing?
I
As just
I
guessed it.
definitely tore up my fingers a bit and pulled a muscle.
Have a glass,
Before-
fella.
How much do I
Before
get?
I take some of your wine, do you perhaps have? I need the washroom. Is there somewhere that I could go and do that here?
There is a privy sized for visitors of your stature, but I haven't been in there in 200 years, so you might be. You seem brave.
I don't tend to think about things like that.
All right.
You get healed by 20
Oh well.
earlier. So when you take a sip from the
Oh,
chalice.
20. Okay. I didn't need that much, but
I know.
That's what you got.
Chalice.
Um,
hefty though.
And she will
Jealous.
offer you as well. Do you need help down? I can get you a. She'll wave her hand again, and another. Nothing immediately happens, but she looks around, pats herself down, and pulls out what is functionally a handkerchief, but it's like a bed sheet, and just throws it over an unseen servant. This one will guide you.
All right. So she's just gonna kind of let herself down. I assume that it's not so high that she couldn't just let herself down like that. And she follows the unseen servant to the bathroom. And while everyone's testing out this wine, Cam is just gonna kind of slip into the bathroom and send a sending to her mother and check in on her with all of the things that are happening around the mountain, just to make sure that she's okay.
What do you say?
Um,
The count. This is. Let's see.
It's 24 words. Is that what it is?
It's 25.
25.
So, if you want, we're on 9:30 now, and my dinner's here.
Mhm.
So let's pick back up with the sending and the response next time
Sounds good.
on Tides to Zemali.